Y'all know before I ask them out for life, I know what you guys having the best day. Make sure you subscribe to that notification button so you don't miss the upload. Make sure you hit that like button. Now you got CJ and Camari going in. Even Kay added her 2 cents in regards to Royalty making a video with Jalea. Now, I always said that it's crazy how Royalty can jump on somebody else's channel and just give full vent to her soul. But when it comes to her own channel, she won't do that because she loves to implement other people instead of herself. But like I said before, if you got something to prove, then prove it. But CJ is petty, Royalty is petty. Both sides are just inconsistent. I don't know how anybody can take sides in this situation, but let's get right into the video.
As you guys can see, we're here with the Real So Cool family. You got your boy, See That's So Cool.
You got Queen C. Okay.
And we're here to just address some things, man. We've been seeing the videos circulating online. We already all know the allegations. And for those of you that don't know the allegations, I'm sorry that we just keep bringing this up. Honestly, after the detectives sent my lawyer the document saying that this little thing was dropped, I felt like it would be no more videos for me to do on this topic. But it seems that the other side just can't keep my name out their mouth, and they keep making these videos, putting on makeup, sitting in front of the camera, crying and lying. And then they hopping on TikTok, crip walking. So it's kind of confusing to me and for some of the internet. So for us to be able to do what we do comfortably, I felt like it was time for me to stand up for myself. And not only just me, but
One thing I'm gonna say is the whole crip walking video, it had nothing to do with the crip walking. It's the fact that during a trying time when you supposed to be going through the most, allegedly, because you felt like everything that has happened to Jalea was 100% real, right? And you wouldn't be online crip walking or doing whatever, especially during the time when you feel like the person got off, right? I always say it, look at both sides. Don't be biased. Make sure that you're being pragmatic, using logic. Pay attention. A lot of things just don't make no sense. You over there crip walking. Not only that, weaponizing your pain. Why would you weaponize your pain? There's been too many occasions where Royalty has said she was going to ruin his career. She's going to do this, mess up his views. She literally said this right after she fought Nike. And the crazy thing about it is, what did Jalea do? She went on Instagram after that CJ on 32's incident and said, "Oh, this little girl about to ruin your career." I just don't like the way the messages were conveyed. And I always say that over and over again. Because at the end of the day, I'm for anyone that's went through a traumatic situation. But I don't like when people weaponize something because it makes it just don't seem like it really is. But let's get right into it.
Camari as well. You got some things to say too, right?
Yeah, of course.
And what about you, Kay?
Absolutely.
Because Kay always telling me she getting DMs and messages from people saying things like, oh, why you with him? You know what he did. And of course, Camari, I hear her arguing all day long. Either it's with them or it's with some hater trolls that's trying to jump on the bandwagon. And then, of course, you got me, the person that stays out of the most trouble. Even though online I seem like I'm a troll, I'm a joke, I'm a cornball, I'm always messy. Trust me, honest to God, y'all do not know me at all. I have never been more happy to keep the drama out of my life. All I talk about is getting money and getting to it. If it ain't about views,
That's one thing I'm not going to agree with because CJ literally was with Maple, calling another little boy his stepson. And then you get with her and you start calling her daughter your stepdaughter. I just think it's too short of intervals that you are literally moving on and introducing women into the twins' lives. I told you all the time, I do not mess with anything like that. I think that is utterly strange that CJ just invites women into his life. I think that's a way for him to run game on them while he's implementing others and putting them in predicaments that's going to be traumatic for them when they get older, and they're going to have commitment issues, and they're going to look at relationships in a strange manner if he do not clean up his act.
videos or brand deals, you not hearing me talk about it. But of course, I gotta defend myself when my daughter is screaming and ready to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Like, y'all is weird. Why y'all still making this scenario about my father? Y'all know how I come behind him. Y'all know why I got in that fight 4th grade year, baby. Y'all don't play with my father. I don't know why y'all think this is that, but y'all not gonna keep playing here, sitting here acting crazy like he didn't do everything for y'all. Then, if the real case was he touched you, why you didn't say that when he was recording y'all? Oh, because he didn't touch you, you little weird. Like, why do you...
Oh man, one thing I am going to say, which I know real victims, and I'm not going to discredit anyone. but I have been around, I have been in relationships with women that have gone through things that are really devastating. And let me tell you something, when they ever got into any type of verbal altercation or anything with the person that did that to them, they will always say it. They always say, "Oh, you doing this and you doing that," while they were angry. That is one thing that I am going to agree with because I have seen it. I have seen a victim literally yell and say something during the midst of an argument of something that was devastating, and they would say it. And one thing that, people got to realize too, when it comes to women, when it comes to girls, when they're angry, they will always say something that's relative to the truth in some shape, form, or fashion. And every time when Jalea was outside ready to fight Kamari that time, when they were doing the exchange, Royalty was recording from the car. CJ did not know they was recording. She could have brought it up there to make it appear as if, oh, CJ was doing this, and CJ could have either said something that would have implemented himself or put him into that category. But she never did. And then when he told him to get out of the house, that was another time when he was recording. Think about it. You want to shut down somebody's recording real quick? Say something truthful about their ass. They'll put that camera down. But you know what's funny? Nothing was done of that nature. Why not at that moment in time when the camera's on say something so they can turn that camera off instead of trying to embarrass you and use that footage for something later?
How do you go from getting touched to be gay? Like you don't even know what you want to be. Like you faggot. Like come
Oh,
on.
calm down.
Oh
Whoa, whoa,
my.
Like,
whoa,
Whoa,
guys,
whoa,
this
whoa,
is
whoa, whoa.
unscripted.
Whoa, whoa,
Hey,
whoa,
hey,
whoa,
my
whoa,
daughter
whoa,
is
whoa,
very
whoa, whoa,
hot,
whoa,
as you
whoa.
can tell. She is very upset, and I feel her pain. Hopefully, you guys are.
One thing I'm gonna say, but 9 times out of 10, when people do go through things like that, it does result in them going the other way, not all the time. Some people just have spirits on them, and I always say it's a spiritual battle. You have to understand when it comes down to that particular area that I don't want to get into in this video, that comes down to spirituality, demonic strongholds, bringing every thought into the obedience of Christ. That's also generational curses, familiar spirits. I mean, it's a lot of things that goes into it. Being, when you become systematically coerced into believing a lie, who changed the truth of God into a lie and cause those to worship the beast, the creature. We have to pay attention to those things. And when somebody goes that way, and then also a lot of people forget. I'm gonna say some stuff for other videos because I'm gonna break some shit down that y'all gonna really pay attention to, and I'm gonna have the video clips to prove it.
Watch and do too. Now, just to jump on this one more time, this is not in any way going to be the type of content we put out. This is a one-hitter quitter. We're only doing this because we are sick and tired of being sick and tired of being lied on. As you just hearing my daughter's voice, she sounds like she's about ready to cry over this. So that's how you know she's not playing no games. And I think Kay feel the same way.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so annoying getting DMs, comments, talking about, your daughter's gonna be next. First of all, he's very respectful with my daughter. He's respectful with me, with my family. Like, I just don't see that. Those allegations were dropped. Obviously, it was fake. So, you guys can stop commenting, sending me messages. I feel very comfortable around CJ to have my kids around him. My daughter loves him, so there's nothing weird going on. He was never trying to hit on her. A lot of people always say that, in our first video when we talked about you went into her store, okay. We feel very comfortable. You guys can stop sending me messages of the false allegations. Like, we're over it, so.
CJ, why do you think they made all this up?
That's a very good question. Something I have to think about. I just don't like responding quickly. I don't know why they made this up, honestly, but I could assume that they made this up in some type of pursuit of reaching success. Clearly, when we broke up, there's more video footage. I have a lot of video footage. I'm sure she does too, but she can't post hers because it only adds value to me. When we broke up, a lot of things were being said, like by her and her kids. You can't do this without us. You won't do that without us. You're gonna be broke without us. And I was saying the same thing.
They both have done similar things, so I'm not gonna just uh go completely with what he said with that. They both have put down each other. And breakups are terrible. It's just that unfortunately, when you put your life online, people get to chime in. And when you look at it from this point of view, you go through every little bit of controversy when you're online. Nothing can get past it because people can replay it, say, "Oh, you said this." If a lot of people's lives were broadcast the way theirs were, y'all are probably be in way more trouble. Because a lot of people don't understand. When you look through the lens of a biased nature, you're not looking at your own situation and what you're into, what you accept, how your household look. Why your shit all dirty, got mildew, your bathroom, your kitchen look like trash. But you know what's funny? You'll put the comment on somebody else's shit. I want people that comment on people that's very biased that don't want to see the truth. How about you start showing your kitchen, your bathroom, your room? Show how you living. Show what type of food that you buy your children, how you raise your kids. Show a lot of these things. Because I think people become so biased and they're so busy on the internet, not paying attention to their own life, not realizing how crazy their situation appears. The situation shifts that they're in, having people have relations with them and leaving, bringing random dudes around your kids. Y'all got random women coming in and out of your life. At the end of the day, y'all look at other people's lives and quickly trying to be like, oh, you know what? They're this, they're that. But you're not reflecting and you're not actually having any integrity and standards. Now, if you got standards and you know that, there's certain things I would never do, and also I can prove that, then that's different. But when you're looking at it from a biased lens and your life does not reflect what you're talking about, then that's the issue.
It's retaliation at this point. You say this, I'm gonna say that. We hurting each other feelings, whatever. And I believe that as time went on and they saw that we were still heading up, our trajectory was up. I'm not gonna say theirs was down, but they were like plateau. They were just staying whatever they was, right? And I was just going up. And this is pre-K. And I think that as we went through court, which took 14 months, she realized she wasn't winning anything. Like, she had the kids 100% until I took her to court. That's how I started the 50-50. But not only that, once we were in court, she felt like she had a chance to ask for money. And once the judge heard the stories and saw the bank account statements, and he was just like, yo, this don't make sense. I'm not taking money from him to give to you. You said you got money. You said you got a business. You said you do OnlyFans. You do passes. You do all this stuff. You got a hair business. You got a pimp boyfriend. You got all this stuff going on, all this motion. But now you need money. So while we in court doing all this arguing over who gonna get what, like Camari said, why wasn't this brought up? And I'm gonna keep saying that because it makes sense. Now, I don't know why they made this up, but the day after the judge said I don't owe them anything, they went to the police department and said this. So you do the math. I mean, because like Ace always say, if 1 + 1 = 3, then I'm not in that equation. Because usually 1 + 1 = 2. So I believe that they did it in a pursuit of like blackmailing me, like, oh, well, you think you ain't gonna get away with paying us none? All right, watch us in your career. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't even know if y'all remember this. You probably never seen it, but she has been on video recording herself saying, I'm gonna play with this man's clout. I'm gonna play with this man's money. You seen that, right?
Yep.
Everybody that didn't
Well,
see that, I'm sorry
that
for you,
video
but
is
trust
true.
me, this girl has been planning and plotting for years. Even before we broke up. You do remember we broke up in like 2021. I was on a yacht with some guys, some content creators. I was on live and I got spammed with royalties moving out of your crib comments, right? I started looking at the comments. I ended the live. I look at royalties page. She literally had a U-Haul moving out of my crib, showing she had 5 cell phones of mine, all this crazy stuff. She had been like spying on me, right? Now, to all that tea, which part of that tea said anything about me messing with kids? Bro, what do you mean? Like, come on, bro. This is still, see, this so cool. Yes, I'm a human being. I'm a man. Sometimes I could be a dog. I could be rude. But guess what? At the end of the day, none of that has anything to do with kids. So when you start lying on people, when you start bringing their name down, it actually affects their livelihood. I could have been in jail right now. Everybody know. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you go to jail for allegations like
Yeah,
rape
like
and
that.
you,
That's
you touched
serious.
a kid, they don't really play with that in jail. They literally be like on that demon time with you. When she tried to end my life, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. You're watching someone that's not supposed to be here. I almost got killed in a gun shootout when they was in my home. Then after that, royalty came.
One thing I am gonna say, hell yeah, they don't play about that shit when you go to prison for those particular reasons. You might as well hang it up. But if that is the case, shit, let me tell you something. That's why I said the co-parenting situation is gonna be through. I don't even know how they're gonna be able to co-parent at this point going further. I mean, I know they have a third party, have somebody pick up the kids, and you never see them again, change their number, whatever the case may be, but goodness gracious. This is just out of control because I don't see the benefit. And then there's other videos that done came out that Imma end up doing that just gonna even be like, "What?" Like, that's what I'm saying, it's gonna be even more crazy. But this whole video is long, bro.
And in my crib to pull up trying to fight. That's when her mama had to protect me. I was still on the couch dying. Her mama had to beat the brakes out of Royalty. Then her daughter and her kids had to see her getting beat up. Y'all seen the video that was recording something about, yeah, Jalea, mom, get up. All this crazy stuff happened. Even my ex had to beat on their grandma. Like, they whole family always losing. All they do is take L's and they still don't learn. Like, if you take L's for a living, you should learn. That's why the first letter is L, right?
Right.
Living, learning, L's. That's all they do. But for some reason, they keep trying to come back. Like,
And I feel like that was really strange. Imma say that again. That's another thing. Now, aside from that, now, see, it's so cool. Saying the kids are responsible for that shooting is downright straight up wrong. I don't give a damn what nobody say. He should have never been doing that. But when Royalty brought her kids to fight, I just felt like that was the weirdest shit of all time. You got your kids in the car while you getting freaking pounded in the face. Like, it just wasn't a good look. And I ain't never where I'm from Carol City. We don't be on that bullshit. So I just think that was kind of straight up lame. That was like, I don't know, that was lame as hell. I would never brought my kids in a situation like that. But she went ahead and did that. Like, I was like, oh goodness. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this. That was not a grown move on either part. For CJ blaming the children when you know that the people were arrested and you still blaming the kids like they had something to do with it. And then Royalty going out there trying to fight you with her children was a straight up L. I just feel like on both sides, they just be doing things that just don't make sense.
ain't no comeback for y'all, bro. Y'all can get as many views as you can, but it doesn't mean anything. You can get as much money as you want, but it doesn't change the fact that you're still nothing without CD So Cool. You're CD So Cool's ex-family. You're CD So Cool's ex. You're CD So Cool's baby mama. I'm not even saying that to be like on my own tip. I'm just saying the truth. No one walks up to me like, hey, yo, that's Royalty X. Oh, yo, that's Leon Nation and Jalea stepdad. No one has ever said that. And I'm not even trying to down y'all. Y'all are special. Or I would never dated y'all. I would never been with y'all for 9 years, putting y'all on YouTube and Instagram and tossing y'all life up. But the fact that I turned y'all up and y'all came for me anyway, it just shows that I was the one in the wrong. I should have never did nothing with y'all. I had enough money to Bentley y'all in the dust. Instead, I brought y'all with me trying to be cool. Because of what? Because y'all held it down when I didn't have no job. Y'all already
Yeah, at the end of the day, we know that story.
know the story by now. 9 months. I lived on her mom's floor on the air mattress for 9 months. That holy ass air mattress, bro. Back hurting and everything, bro. But guess what? When I got my bread up, I was a real one. I kept them. I took care of all of them. All I've ever done was showing love to them. Just like I show love to everybody else. Everybody around me know who I am, bro.
Yeah, but that's a good thing though. They held him down. He came back. He grinded with Jinx, who was on first. Then he got on, and then boom, everybody got on. And he still was, putting everybody on, creating content. CJ came up with, a plethora of ideas more than everyone else did. So, but as a collective, they had a special, you know, camaraderie about them that you can't not recap, you can't remake, and that's why it's so hard to even capture that in other people. But CJ, of course, had a personality and everything, but he brought out the best in them, and they brought out the best in him.
Ace, Dom, Ariel, Kay, Kiki, Camari, Kenneth, his kids, his wife, Lexi, her mom, anyone that you ever seen me associate myself with, they know who I am, bro, and ain't none of them ever lied on me like Royalty. They always the only ones, bro. So, yeah, Ace, to answer your question, the reason why they did it is because they always done it. All they do is lie on me, and that's all they can do. They can't do anything else besides lie.
Even like if there was enough evidence, even if like she would want to drop the case, because I know people that have been involved with that, like the DA will pick it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't, pick it up or anything.
It's too
Now, let me tell you
obvious
something.
because I had all the listen. I never knew this was gonna happen to me, and I still had evidence against them. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how it really should be. Like if I was really doing these things and you don't know or whatever, somebody should have evidence. There should always be some type of collection of proof. Like, okay, well on this day you got this. They sending me videos talking about, oh, you scratched your name on her back. She was ashy as hell. That was literally me. I was just playing around, bro. Like, come on, bro. You can't take that as sexual assault. If I did this, turn around quick. They gonna use this one day anyway. Boy, you ashy as hell. On God, I can see my name, but she's not that ashy. Show them your back. Show them your back. There's nothing on her. The kid was ashy. I was just trying to be funny. Come on, bro. If I'm raising your kids and I've been in their life for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, the least I could do is make fun of you in a cool way and say, bro, you need to put on lotion. I was definitely trying to tell her to take care of her skin. That was like a hygiene joke, and it went over y'all heads, and all of a sudden, he marking his territory. Wait, what? I'm not a freaking dog, bro. I don't pee on people. What's wrong with you? I'm not R. Kelly. I'm not C. Diddy. Please stop with the names. I swear I'm tired of blocking people. That's why I'm making this video.
CJ, why did they wait all these years to say this?
That's a good question, and it kind of goes back into what I was just saying. They waited because it wasn't true. They made it up on the spur of a moment. They was just like, oh, we're not getting no child support. Oh, my God, what do we do? Jalea, say this. It's just like she was in the video that I posted. I didn't really want to post that, but I had to. The Shade Room picked it up. Shout out to the Shade Room teams. They made sure they posted. What was they doing in the video? They were standing there looking goofy while their mom was trying to coach them to lie on me. Didn't your...
Everyone likes being a hero.
There was one thing. I think I'm trying to find that part.
Your dad, first of all. Didn't he hit me? Didn't he hit me? They in there laughing. Yeah, he hit you with. What I hit you with? You hit her with your fist. Come on, bro. She in there ripping up condoms and everything. The whole purpose of us breaking up was because I personally did not like her. Okay, so I was still talking to other females. We had a business relationship. In my mind, we worked together. We lived together. I took care of all the expenses so I could do whatever I wanted to do. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Y'all didn't know what I was doing. The internet didn't know who I was seeing, who I was talking to, but they did. So every time I come home, they had this animosity towards me. Like, where you been? It'll be her kids, all of them. Not Leon. Leon always be shy, like covering his face, like, here we go again. But the girls, they be on attack mode because their mom coaches them. As soon as I leave, she started talking to them like they adults or something. Your dad does this, that, and that. Like, why are you doing that? They just little kids. Let them live. But instead, she coached them so much, so now they all confused. You got Jalea, who she talked to? A girl, right?
Right.
Jalea, Gay. Who Nation talked to? She talked to a girl.
Boy.
Nation, a little kid. She got a boyfriend. Camari don't got no man. Y'all like say my kid grown.
I'm fast, but she got a whole boo.
She can own up. She take accountability. She said she fast. I ain't say that.
Y'all literally had a video of this girl dancing on a whole boy and talking about some jump, like what? You ain't got no video.
And what they gonna say? We got.
Nah, that's wild. That's crazy work. You know, to have your daughter dancing on a boy. And they do become for Camari, because Camari do be doing grown shit, posting videos with a Don Julio and shit, even though she probably didn't drink. But, you know, Camari do be getting, you know, kicked out of school and shit for fighting. So, I mean, on both ends, it just kind of screwed up. That's why I always say it's hard. You can't take no sides. It's just truth. People need to grow up on both sides, be more mature. People need to understand that it only hurts the children, and you guys need to co-parent and be better and understand that. Damn, when you, hey, if you wrong, admit you wrong and move on in your life. And you got to learn how to, you know, God gonna have vengeance for everything that you say against someone. Vengeance is His. So when you go against somebody, you say something, and you bear false witness. Guess what? You got to pay for that shit.
Got a video of you dancing at a party. Okay, around all her friends, all girls. She was just dancing. That's what kids are supposed to do. It got caught on camera, but she
Not
wasn't twerking
dance
on
like
nobody.
that, CJ.
You do understand the difference, right? My kid don't walk around wearing makeup, high heels, all that crazy stuff they do over there, bro. She's coaching them kids. I'm not even gonna say what she's trying to teach them to do, but listen, if you got a brand, you can see what's going on. They don't got no money, no revenue coming in. So the only thing she has is her daughter. She's gonna use and abuse them. You'll see, bro. 5 years from now, you're gonna see where they end up at. I ain't trying to put it on nobody.
If I still had them old phones, I have pictures of Jalea by like busted. Like,
when they used to get beat on by her?
Thank you. Like,
Bro, they be
mama used to
fighting in that
beat
crib, bro.
you,
That's
like,
why CJ and Dad do not like going over there. That's why Dad arm always get broke. I know
Okay,
she tried to
that's
post
about
that video
her
of Dad
mama.
falling off. What's the first
See,
video?
that's
Where's
crazy.
the first video? How did she break her arm to begin with? She didn't have that scooter, right? So all of a sudden, now it's a video of her getting her arm broken. You laughing. Ah! My daughter fell
Yeah,
off
I
the
ain't gonna
scooter.
lie. That shit was weird as fuck. When she broke her arm, I did not like when Royalty laughed about that shit. That to me was crazy work. And I think people ignore it because they just want to be fanned out goofy, just like people are fanned out goofy for CJ. I don't ignore what people doing. He can say what they want about Kamari, but at the end of the day, he does not keep her full time. He does not protect her and guard her and be her covering. He doesn't do that. So that plays a lot into the situation. And that's a lot of things.
First thing you do is keep recording and laugh. If that had been me, I'm damn near trying to catch my daughter. She still would have broke her
Yeah,
arm. no
yeah,
matter
and
what.
I'm jumping
damn near
out.
trying
I'm
to fall
jumping
and break
wherever
my
I'm
arm to
at,
save
running
her.
over
She
there. I
on
ain't
video
playing no
laughing
game.
at my kid. You know how mad I wanted to
Don't be laughing. That's weird.
Anyway, Bro, she posted a little screenshot of me talking about, I'm sorry, oh, I wish I never disrespected you and your kids online. Yeah, she talking about, see y'all, he apologizing to me, but he making fun of me online. I was apologizing to your kids because I saw your video. You posted a month after I found out you didn't lied on me with these allegations. You and your daughter sat in front of a camera talking about, I don't got nothing against CJ So Cool. I just wish he apologized for disrespecting my kids online. So I did. And then you like, oh, see y'all, he apologized to me. For what though? Like, you don't have a brain. I swear this girl never had a brain. And y'all know my favorite words to say, she ain't never had no money. Ever.
Royalty, you have no money, including your kids. Like, your kids don't make as much as you on YouTube. Y'all don't make nothing together. Like, y'all make maybe like $900 a week, a month, maybe like a year. Y'all keep going to Dallas trying to ask Daniel and them for handouts. They didn't give you no handout. Like, get on. Like, why y'all keep going over there? They don't want to go over there. Like, come on, y'all making their house dirty. Like, y'all reporting in this dirty.
No, that's
like,
a fact. Y'all are the dirtiest humans I've ever freaking met.
What?
That is the truth. I will continuously tell the truth. They were so nasty, I had to get out of that situation. I'm sorry, Leon, my G. You and me was always gone. They was always messing up the house. I come home, I'll be like, is this even the house, bro?
Man, this is just wild. But like I said before, it's this tit for tat shit is just gonna be ridiculous. It gets petty and it never ending because when people have bitterness in them, they will continuously go back and forth because they're hurt. Somebody did something, somebody said something, allegations, those types of shit. You know, it's hard. That stigma will remain with you, even if it is a lie. So you can understand CJ perspective. You can understand Roy's perspective saying, hey, her daughter said this and that. But then if she was coached to say it, that makes it even worse because now you're just running with a narrative. But if her daughter's, went through that allegedly, even though the case was dropped and there was no evidence proven. See, I'm about facts and evidence. I'm about being realistic and pragmatic. The DA would have picked that up. That's why I always say the district attorney would have picked up the case and said, you know what? We're gonna push this a little further and dig a little deeper. But that detective did a lot of great things and focused on the truth and facts. Even pulled up an old case of 2018 when they did a forensic interview on all the children in the house, and Rosie said she had no clue about it. You cannot make this up at the end of the day. You cannot do a forensic interview, checking body parts and everything else. No, no, no. All right, let me know what you guys think about in the comments. And I'm up out of